Hi there. I'm going to show you how you can use the digital tool EquatIO for something like quadratic formula to make your life a little bit easier in this digital world. Okay, so first things first, I did turn on EquatIO. To do that, it needs to be here in your toolbar, basically, or your extension bar. You can click on the puzzle piece, see if it's missing here, and you can just pin it by, see how there's an open pin and then a closed pin. By close pinning it, it'll always be up here. Okay, make sure you're obviously logged in also to your VLC account because that would make a big difference as to whether you see this or not. Okay, so what we're going to do is now open up this equation editor. And rather than typing out the quadratic formula, they actually have it for you. So I'm going to start even typing the word quadratic. And you'll see, there you go, quadratic formula. Nice and simple. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to hit three buttons: Control, Shift, and Enter. Control, Shift, and Enter. And that's the same on a Mac and on a Windows mid device. When I do that, I now get a duplicate of the line above. So the formula is above, and now I can substitute in here. So I can go, oh, and actually before I do that, let me remind you this as well. So what's really nice is that there's this favorite button. So I can add this formula. Let me grab that again. I'm just going to go undo. Grab that. Let's just do that again. 1 second, just really quick. And I want to add this to my favorites, so I don't have to type out quadratic formula if I don't want to. So I'm going to add to favorites, and I'm going to say quadratic formula, and boom, there. So that way, if I do click on it, oops, if I click on here, I can go to favorites, and it'll show all my favorite things in here, and you'll see quadratic formula, which looks like I've favorited it before. So then I can just grab it from there. So whatever you decide is the easiest, it's completely up to you. And again, I'm going to go back up to here because I want to copy this formula. So I'm going to go that Control, Shift, and Enter. Oops, I'm making a big old mess of this now. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is type in my values. So I'm going to substitute my values for B. And that's exactly what you're going to do. Just keep going. So just replace of course, don't forget when you're substituting, put in brackets around your value. So -30 bracket, and then the squared is on the outside. And looks like I made an extra bracket there, not a big deal. For A is just 1 in our example above, and C being 225. Okay, down here, don't forget the 2A, and I'm just going to show the substitution, even though I know 2 times 1 is already 1. I'm going to use that trick again of Control, Shift, Enter, because why repeat this whole thing if we don't have to? Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just finish this off, make this positive, let's say, because negative times a -30, we have positive 30. Get rid of that negative sign. And of course, what we want to do is simplify the rest of this expression. So if we have -30 squared, which means -30 times -30, which is 900. And then if we actually have 4 times 1 times 225, that's actually 900 as well. And down, of course, on the bottom, 2 times 1 is just 2. Okay, so Control, Shift, Enter. And there's my equation. And now I want to simplify this. Well, 900 take away 900 is 0, and the square root of 0 is just 0. So I'm just going to put a 0 right there. And let's go Control, Shift, Enter. And let's simplify this, of course, because 30 plus 0 or 30 minus 0 is just going to leave us with still 30. So therefore, x is going to be equal to 15. I'm still going to just go, just out of habit, Control, Shift, and Enter, and just simplify that now expression to 15. So we only have 1 0 for this example, and it's 15. I'm going to insert the math. And what I wanted to show you last thing in here is that you do have control over this equation, meaning if it's not where, where you want it to be, like you can change it where it's more like wrap text. And this way you can move it anywhere you want on your doc. Okay, and you can insert this in Canvas and any environment you're basically working in for the most part, because this will work for as long as you're in the Chrome browser. Okay, hopefully this helps to show you how you can use quadratic formula, do it digitally, but do it fairly quickly.